Welcome to the Educational Channel. This is episode 5, unit 9, New Ways and Old. We will be tackling set book and vocabulary. Before we start the unit, here are a few tips for answering set book questions. Make sure to read all the questions carefully, and remember, the questions are of general nature, so you can use your own information or the textbook information. Write full, meaningful sentences and provide at least 2 causes, reasons, or effects according to what the question asks from you. Pay attention to handwriting and spelling and revise your answers. This is the first question to introduce the unit. How did people used to spend leisure or free time in the past? Think of it carefully. In the past, what were the old ways of spending leisure or free time? People used to enjoy carpentry. People used to enjoy knitting, embroidery, and pottery. Now, pottery is a noun. That means clay that has been shaped. For example, workshops are held in Beit Lodhan to demonstrate how to create pottery. Other ways in the past that people used to spend their free time is fixing cars. Fix means to repair something that is broken or not working properly. For example, the technician is so competent that he can fix all kinds of computers. Competent means having the necessary ability or skill to do something. For example, there are many competent mechanics who can repair any car breakdown in Shueikh. Also in the past, people enjoyed cookery. Cookery is the practice or skill of preparing or cooking food. For example, cookery books offer new ways of preparing meals. Other ways they used to spend their time is playing traditional games. Now, here are 3 traditional games that are mentioned in your textbook. Al-Khabsa, Dawama, Ambar. Now, old traditional games had certain characteristics. They require simple objects. Any available object you can use to create a game. They are outdoor and involve groups and socializing. Socialize means to mix with others socially. For example, people get together in coffee houses to eat food, drink coffee, and socialize. Let's look at the question again. How did people used to spend leisure or free time in the past? People used to fix cars, practice pottery, and play outdoor games with their neighbors. Here's another question. What are some new ways of spending leisure or free time? Ways that we can do now? Now, some of the new ways, and many like this, is playing games. Example, online snooker. Now, snooker is a game played on a billiard table. Example, in the club, there are 5 large training rooms and a big snooker hall. Many people nowadays prefer custom-made electronics, like in the picture. It's custom-made. They are not mass-produced. Custom-made means made to a particular customer's order. Example, this car, as you see in the picture, is custom-made. It's specially made for a particular buyer. And mass-produced means produced in large quantities, big quantities. Example, a lot of goods are mass-produced by using modern machines in the factory. Now, we talked about games as a new way of spending leisure time. Do you spend your time on the internet too? Online shopping? Mail ordering? What is mail order? Mail order is the selling of goods to customers by mail. Like when you have a catalog and you try to order and they bring it to you by mail. Example, I often buy clothes by mail order. Some of us also enjoy, and I do that, watching TV as a new way of spending your free time, or reading electronic books, reading books online, or going to the gym and playing sports. Let's put them in full meaningful sentences. What are some new ways of spending leisure time? Some new ways of spending leisure time includes computer games, going to the movies, reading online books, or going to the gym. Here's another word, put to. Put to is a phrasal verb. It means to ask someone a question. Example, I have a question that I want to put to you. Now, another setbook question might look like this. How can we put computers to creative use? We all have computers, but how can we use them in a creative way? One of these ways of being creative on computers is designing magazines or creating unique posters or producing diagrams and tables and making them colorful. Unique means being the only one of its kind, unlike anything else, like the building. Example, each person's genetic code is unique, except in the case of identical twins. In your textbook, you have a lesson about Beit Lodan. Now, Beit Lodan is a building that provides a platform for art exhibitions, workshops, and lessons. Some people spend time in the cafe there and socialize. So it provides a platform for art exhibitions. A platform is a noun that means a raised level or a raised surface. Example, the speaker stepped up onto the platform and started his speech. And a workshop is a noun that means a room or building in which goods are manufactured or repaired. Example, there are many carpentry workshops that are run by skillful carpenters in Al-Dajij. So Beit Lodan provides a platform for art exhibitions, workshops, and lessons. What are some types of workshops that are provided in Beit Lodan? Here are a few types. Arabic calligraphy, jewelry design, clay pottery. Now, the clay pottery are made by craftsmen. We also have contemporary photography. Craftsman is someone who is very skilled at a craft. Example, the plates are hand-painted by our finest craftsmen. And contemporary means modern. Example, contemporary architecture is so magnificent with beautiful designs. Another question that you may be asked, is it better to reuse old buildings or build new buildings? Which is better? An answer might look like this. I think using old buildings helps people know about their past and present as well. We can also build new, unusual ones to be more modernistic. So, both. Unusual means not common. Example, some countries have snow in May, which is very unusual, not common. Another question, what activities can people do at Beit Lodan? Remember, in Beit Lodan, people can attend workshops, exhibitions, or spend time at the cafe. Here are a few more words that you might need to remember. In parallel. In parallel is an expression that means occurring at the same time. Things occurring at the same time. Example, French and German scientists are working in parallel to find a vaccine for COVID-19. Seamlessly. Seamlessly means smoothly. Example, What a seamlessly woven transition from step to step in Professor John's lecture. Seamlessly. And promote. Promote is a verb. It means to support or encourage or raise to a higher position. Example, chess, the game you see in the picture, is one of the games that promotes thinking, encourages thinking. Immobile. Immobile means motionless. Example, when I saw the accident, I remained completely immobile. I couldn't move. Ungentlemanly means dishonorable, not good behavior. Example, the player was dismissed because of his ungentlemanly behavior. Let's practice the vocabulary words. Choose the correct answer from A, B, C, or D. That car costs a lot more than the other cars of the same model. I think that's because it is. Let's take a look at the multiple choice. Competent, contemporary, ungentlemanly, custom made. Now we have a car that costs a lot more money, although it is the same model. Which answer do you think? Custom made. These days, you can simply buy things using. Remember, these days you are buying things. What are you using? Because it is more practical than old methods. Mail order, craftsman, snooker, or cookery. Of course, you buy things using mail order. Greenpeace works to awareness of the dangers that threaten our planet. What do? They work to do what exactly? Fix, promote, narrate, socialize. Greenpeace works to promote awareness of the dangers. Here are more idioms in Unit 9. Remember, idioms are words that don't exactly mean the literal words that you see. The first idiom we have is below par. Below par means something below the usual. Another word that means exactly the same is substandard. It's not standard, it's substandard, below the usual. Here are examples. The student is not competent. His work is always below par. Or, Mr. David is a teacher who is not in favor of substandard work. He wants his students to do their best. He doesn't like substandard work. Another idiom or expression we have is to call the shots. Call the shots meaning make important decisions. Who calls the shots in your house? Who makes decisions? Or, our boss is the only person who can call the shots. Neck and neck. Neck and neck is an idiom that means evenly matched. Example, the two competitors were neck and neck until one of them scored an extra point. We have toe the line. To toe the line is to accept authority, to accept the rules. People who follow the rules toe the line. Or, like in a classroom, there are rules. You need to toe the line. Let's fill in the spaces with the correct words from the list. We have call the shots, neck and neck, toe the line, below par, and put to. Number 1. Huda is not working well with others and doesn't follow the instructions. She needs to learn too. So we have she doesn't follow instructions. What does she need to learn to do? She needs to learn to toe the line. Number 2. The restaurant we went to was really because both the food and service were terrible. It wasn't good, it was terrible. So the restaurant we went to was really below par. Number 3, you should do what the manager says. He's the one who. Now, the manager, what does he do? He's the one who calls the shots, makes the decisions. Number 4, the two candidates were. So we have 2 people. Until the final votes. They were neck and neck. In this episode, we learned how to use the new vocabulary items in sentences. We learned how to answer the set book questions, and we did some vocabulary exercises. If you need to go back, pause the videos, try to answer. Thank you for watching.